We need to talk about self-help, do your own lab tests, your health insurance today, because insurance companies in America, health insurance companies, are fleeing the Affordable Health Care Act just like crazy. Aetna Health Insurance reports that they're $1/3 of $1 trillion in the hole. $1/3 of $1 trillion. That's over $300 million in the hole. And that's because only 40% or less of the sign-ups for the Affordable Health Care Act are healthy people. 60% are sick people. People living under the bridge, welfare people, people on food stamps and so forth. And it's crazy. Now, to kind of stay afloat, the premiums are going up 300% to 500%, the monthly premiums. The deductibles are up, from, say, $300 for one episode of a health problem to $6,000. Okay? And this is like going crazy. And so there's so many of these insurance companies are getting out of the Affordable Health Care Act that it may just die because of lack of participation by insurance companies. Well, so that puts responsibility on us. And I want you to contact your associate and ask for the trilogy of books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, and the Passport to Aromatherapy, and learn how to deal with over 900 different diseases using vitamins and minerals and trace minerals and rare earths, amino acids, fatty acids, herbs, and aromatherapy oils. It's the trilogy of books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, and the Passport to Aromatherapy, because you're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself, because insurance is going to be so far outrageous that just about every company is going to put everybody on part-time, less than 29 hours work, so they want to pay deductibles of $6,000 and all that kind of stuff. What is going on here? Okay? And so I want you to get a hold of that trilogy of books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, and the Passport to Aromatherapy. Again, learn how to deal with 900 different diseases using vitamins and minerals and trace minerals and rare earths, amino acids, fatty acids, herbs, and aromatherapy oils, and an overall sort of explanation of how nutrition works here. You want to get a hold of that package. It's a series, The Truth About Nutrition. It's a book, a DVD, and a CD. It was produced and directed by Jimmy Osmond of the Donnie Marie Osmonds, the Osmonds on TV. Really did a great job of following him around and dealing with my shows and my various lectures around the world. And then, of course, epigenetics. Epigenetics, it's kind of a 25-year update on Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and really gives you some sense that Dead Doctors Don't Lie, which came out in the mid-'90s, was right on, because all the newest research shows that everything I said in the 90s with the book and the CD and the DVD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, was right on. So epigenetics is just the follow-up, and it's just an amazing thing. The trilogy books, Epigenetics, The Truth About Nutrition. Get them. Learn how to take care of yourself. You can do your own lab work. You don't need to go to a doctor to see if you have diabetes. You can do it yourself. Go to a pharmacy without a prescription. Get the test strips for your urine, the test strips for your blood. You can do your own colonoscopic exam equivalent. You can take your own blood pressure. You can take your own pulse. You can weigh yourself and keep a logbook of all this stuff. If you have symptoms, give yourself a physical, okay? I'd give yourself a physical once every 6 months. Cost you $4.50 instead of $800 to $2,000 by your doctor. And you should teach your kids and grandkids, brothers and sisters, your spouse, and everybody else how to do their own physicals. Just remember, it's biblical. It's biblical. Okay? We're talking about faith. Okay? Faith without works is dead. And so you really have to participate here. You just can't go along and say, well, I pray before every meal. I pray before I go to bed, and I know good Lord is going to take care of me. And you do nothing. You keep eating the bad foods. You don't supplement. And you wonder why you get sick. You wonder why you die 40, 50 years early. You wonder why you're going to be standing at a gravesite burying your kids. It's imperative that you participate. Be proactive. Stay away from the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, and the gluten. Stay away from these bad foods, and then make sure you're taking the 90, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids, and that will give your body raw materials it needs to support and promote the needs of your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres, which is what we call epigenetics. The medical system has a false belief, one of those false theories, that genes are autonomous. They're going to do their work no matter what's around them. Okay? You got good genes, they do good things. You have bad genes, they do bad things. No, it doesn't quite work that way. You have the best genes in the world. But if you're missing any of the nutrients that are required for the genes to function, your DNA and your RNA and your telomeres to function, guess what? You got nothing. So you do need to supplement to make sure, because it's not in your food anymore. Even the U.S. government, U.S. Department of Agriculture, a 100-year study came out, said that 95% of all Americans are minerally deficient. 95% of Americans are minerally deficient. I've been saying this since 1967. Everybody's been laughing at me. Well, here the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, came out and said 85% of our farm soils are depleted of minerals, and 95% of all Americans are seriously minerally deficient. They also talk about I think it's our baby foods, our baby formulas, things like Enfamil, Similac, Gerber's, Carnation. They have less than 20% of the minerals and vitamins necessary for proper development of our kids. That's why you're going to be standing at your gravesite burying them if you don't supplement them. Please, 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 get the information. Trilogy books, epigenetics, the truth about nutrition. Have family meetings. Go over these things. Make sure you're going to add 25 to 50 healthy years to everybody's life. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about vitamin D, as I have a story here that came from Fox News, headlined, "Make the Most of Vitamin D for Psoriasis." Say it's been in the headlines and for bone health and heart health, but say vitamin D ointment has been used to treat psoriasis for a number of years. And they say you need to get your vitamin D naturally. Unlike other vitamins, vitamin D isn't found in a wide variety of foods. And it can be sourced from oily fish like salmon and mackerel, as well as added to other foods like orange juice and milk and some breakfast cereals. They go on to say vitamin D is unique because your skin can actually make enough if you get enough sunlight or on your unprotected skin. And they say lack of sunshine is one of the reasons why a lot of people who live in the north who don't get outdoors much have low vitamin D levels. Recent studies have shown that a lot of seniors do have low vitamin D levels. They say very often psoriasis treatment starts with topical creams and ointments, products you put on your skin. Studies show that vitamin D ointment works well as the anti-inflammatory corticosteroid products. They say, in fact, a combination of the two would actually be the most effective. And they go on to say it's usually applied twice a day to the psoriasis plaques in the red areas of skin covered by silvery scales. Go on to say that psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. I think you might disagree with that one.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, some studies have shown that people with other autoimmune diseases, such as multiple sclerosis, tend to have low levels of vitamin D. People with autoimmune disease may see improvement with vitamin D supplements. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Doug. But yeah, I would say false theory alert. Because the designation of autoimmune disease for things like lupus and psoriasis and rheumatoid arthritis and these kinds of things is absolutely a failed theory. None of them are what we would call autoimmune, like a baby being born a bubble baby because mama was missing stuff. The immune systems are being formed and they have no immunity. It's be kind of kept in this protective bubble. That's a different story. But when you have psoriasis, you have rheumatoid arthritis. Psoriasis is a deficiency disease, actually, secondary, usually, not always, but usually to a malabsorption problem from a gluten intolerance. You get on a gluten-free diet, take the 90 essential nutrients, and guess what? Psoriasis goes away. And then when you have rheumatoid arthritis, it's bone-to-bone arthritis with a secondary infection with a bug called mycoplasma, which is killable with an antibiotic called minocycline, which is a member of the tetracycline family. You can kill it in like 2 weeks. You can kill syphilis bugs in 2 weeks with penicillin. And then you deal with the bone-to-bone arthritis as you would any other bone and joint problems. And you can talk to your associate about that. And then lupus is another malabsorption problem. You get on a gluten-free diet, let your intestines heal. It will increase the efficiency of absorption. When your intestines heal, get on a gluten-free diet. You take the 90 essential nutrients. And again, lupus is a deficiency of multiple nutrients caused by malabsorption, because when you lose the efficiency of absorption in your intestines, it's very common. And you see a rosacea on the faces, which is kind of close to psoriasis. It's a cousin skin disease of psoriasis, and it's one of those butterfly rashes, very typical of what you would call lupus. And it's a matter of changing the diet, getting on the 90 essential nutrients, and your body will do the rest. It's an amazing thing. And again, I'd urge everybody to get a hold of the book, The trilogy books would be the best way to go. Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, and the Passport Aromatherapy. And it'll cover lupus and psoriasis and rosacea, dermatitis, eczema, rheumatoid arthritis, all of these things that doctors want you to believe are autoimmune, but they're not. And so, again, one of the reasons why we're in trouble is because the medical system is relying on failed theories. There's thousands of failed medical theories every century, in the 20th and 21st century, no different. So again, get a hold of that trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, and the Passport Aromatherapy, and learn how to deal with over 900 different diseases using vitamins and minerals and trace minerals and rare earths, amino acids, fatty acids, herbs, and aromatherapy oils. The trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, and the Passport Aromatherapy. Thank you, Doug, and we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Nashville, Tennessee, and Paula, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hey, Paula, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. First of all, I want to say my father started talking about you in the 1980s.
Okay.
He's read a couple of your books and everything, but I am actually I'm calling on behalf of my fiance. It's a pleasure to talk with you. And I have a number of symptoms. Starting in, first of all, let me say he worked out every day of his life. He's always eaten very healthy, doesn't eat sugar, has smoothies with spinach and everything else you can think of. The man was in tip-top shape with a six-pack stomach, as you guys like to call it. And suddenly, until a little over a year ago, his stomach became grossly distended, looked like it was 8 months pregnant. Hasn't changed since. It grew by 11 inches in a matter of 10 days. Since then, he's lost about a third of his hair, which had been extremely thick, and it is still falling out. In addition to that, his weight was normally 188 to 195 pounds. He is now weighing in at 217, and he's not eating that much. Worst of all, he has chronic fatigue. He maybe has 2 hours of energy a week. His skin is pale and gray. He looks extremely unhealthy. And after he takes a bath, and he likes to take baths instead of showers, he does so 7 days a week. And after he takes a bath, there's always a dark charcoal, like crushed pencil type of film. His mood swings have gotten crazy. I mean, he is having mood swings. He's having brain fog. He's always had a photographic memory, and now he is forgetting things. During the course of that time, we went to 2 gastro doctors, GPs, 2 ER visits. He's had every test known to mankind. Everything's coming out negative. About the only thing they found was, for some reason, he's a little low at the low end of normal on D3 and B12, which is odd because he takes it every day and he gets B12 injections.
Let me stop you there, okay? Because we're going to have to run to a break here real quick, and I want to ask you a question or two before the break. Let's see, does your fiance have any history of asthma or bronchitis?
Bronchitis. He has bronchitis a number of times.
Okay, and did he have any history of skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
Not at all.
Okay, what about constipation or diarrhea?
No, not really. He's always.
Did he have his appendix out? Did he have his appendix out?
No, he did not.
Okay, well, hang on. We'll be back. I'll give you a dietary change for him and a little supplement program after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go right back to Tennessee and Paula. One more question, Paula. Does your fiance use salt, or does he consciously restrict salt?
He has very little salt. Generally, salt is only maybe if he has tortilla chips as a snack with guacamole.
Okay, but I mean, does he use a salt shaker? Does he use a salt shaker and sprinkle salt all over his food?
No, just on popcorn. That's it.
Okay.
He doesn't
All
put
right.
it on anything else.
Okay. Now, here we go. Well, first of all, I believe your fiancé has what we call a gluten intolerance because he has multiples of symptoms and diseases, almost all of which are due to nutritional deficiencies. Okay? We're talking about mood swings. We're talking about chronic fatigue syndrome. We're talking about the discoloration of the skin, hair loss, bloating, low vitamin B12. Well, you need stomach acid to be able to absorb vitamin B12. I don't care if you're eating 5 pounds of B12 every day. You can't absorb very much of it without an acid environment in your stomach. And then the intrinsic factor works, and you become efficient in absorbing B12. Another thing, when you're bloated and have a gassy stomach that makes you look like you're 5 months pregnant, that means the pH, the acid environment in your stomach, is not right. And instead of being acid like car battery acid, you're getting towards the neutral, which is 7, and it could be 4 or 5 instead of 1. And yeast and bacteria will grow in this environment that's more towards neutral than acid. And anytime he will eat fiber or sugars or juices of any kind, fruit, this is going to result in the sugars and carbohydrates being fermented by the yeast and bacteria, causing the gas. So several things need to be done here. Your fiancé has to be on a gluten-free diet. You're going to have to be gluten-free. The dog, the cat, the bird, the fish, mother-in-law, spouse, kids, renter, anybody living in the household with you guys, you've got to be drop-dead gluten-free. And I would also have him stay away from fried foods, processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. That means deli slices, sandwich meats, sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, Spam. And if he's going to eat popcorn, I want him to have air pop popcorn and melt butter and put the melted butter on there, not margarine, not oils, but just melted butter, and sprinkle it fairly heavily with salt because that's the raw material for the chief cells in the stomach to make the stomach acid. Then that's going to support a more efficient absorption of B12 and also provide the right acid environment of the stomach to retard or suppress the growth of yeast and bacteria in the stomach environment. So that's imperative. Then no oils. It means no olive oil, no coconut oil. Again, no microwave popcorn, no theater popcorn, only air pop popcorn with melted butter and some salt. No olive oil, no coconut oil, no margarines, manufactured and cooking oils. And no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And then the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for his body weight. Contact your associate and ask for those 90 essential nutrients appropriate for his body weight. And if he works out, they'll know what to give him. Make sure he gets all his electrolytes, all that other stuff as an add-on to the 90 essential nutrients.
Let's head to Oklahoma. And LaFonda, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, LaFonda. You're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I have a very difficult 72-year-old mother, and I told her to give your regimen a 3-month try.
You're kind of going in and out very badly, and so I can't. All I heard was mother.
Okay. I have a very difficult 72-year-old mother.
Okay.
And I told her to give your regimen a 3-month try. If she does not feel better, if her blood work does not improve, then I will drop it. I think she's gluten intolerant. She refuses to go on a totally gluten-free diet, and she's incredibly skeptical of this program. She's got a long list of things that are wrong. She has anxiety and shaking, depression, dry mouth. She has numerous compression fractures in her spine and different. She's had kyphoplasty and pyoplasty, and she has severe constipation. She's had constipation problems, I think, all of her life. I remember whenever I was.
How much does she weigh? How much does she weigh?
100 pounds.
Oh, you broke up there. You need to tell me again. Are you driving or something? Why are you breaking up?
No, bad phone line.
Okay, so, what does she weigh?
She weighs 103 pounds.
Okay, so she's small. Okay,
yes,
well, here's the deal. You need to have a family meeting with her, anybody who's living with her, if she has somebody who can help her, be her kind of custodian and her helper, because she may be problematic because it's possible she has dementia and she can't remember things and she doesn't want to be chewed out when she doesn't do something. And so it's best to have a caregiver of some kind, preferably a child or a brother and sister or spouse or somebody. But if you have to, at 72 years old, she should be able to get a nurse to come in and be paid by Medicare, Medicaid kind of stuff, so it's not going to be a financial burden on anybody, to give her supplements during the day and make sure she has a bath and all that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of where she needs a caregiver who's going to do all this stuff for her. Don't depend on her to do it because she may, like I say, have a little dementia. It's possible that it's usually when they get anxiety and they have all these other, sometimes they get a little pushy physically, and even people would call them aggressive and so forth. And that's because they have some dementia and they're trying to protect themselves because they can't remember anything, can't remember even who people are in their family. So, and at 103 pounds, I would give her, the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for her body weight. It comes in prepackaged programs, one prepackaged program per 100 pounds of body weight, so she'd be eligible for one of those programs. And since she has all this emotional stuff, I just tell the associate, if you're an associate, you should know which one of these programs are appropriate for somebody with emotional and brain problems of various types. And I would go there, but it's imperative that she stay away from gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. She stay away from fried foods, no processed meats or nitrates and nitrites, no oils. And again, it's best to the caregivers in the house to deal with that. She shouldn't have Ensure or Boost because they're mostly oils, which are trans fats and make things worse. I would have her eat 103 pounds. I'd have her eat maybe 3-4 eggs a day. She can use our shakes. We have Slender FX shakes. If you make them with water, they're a weight loss thing. But if you make them with half and half or heavy whipping cream and throw a couple of eggs in there and have her take 2 or 3 of those shakes a day, she might even gain 10 pounds, but certainly this will reduce the odds of her losing weight and give her some nice nutrition between the eggs and the shake. And you can put some of the supplements in the shake, and it'll be fine. Or you can even freeze it and let her eat it with a spoon like ice cream. And that tends to be a little more fun for them than taking a lot of pills and capsules and liquid supplements that they have to mix together. And again, which becomes problematic if somebody has a dementia kind of thing. And so that's kind of where I would go, is the Slender FX. We have the original. We also have one, and I would not advise this one for her because it does have the milk sugar in it, okay? It's the wonderful keto caramel, but she doesn't need the caramel. She needs the original ones without the caramel, the original Slender FX shakes. So let's go there, and I'd start her out. And, of course, we have all kinds of things that help with brain function and brain metabolism and so forth, and your associate will be able to walk you through all that. Give us a call every couple of weeks and let us know how Mom is doing. But I would get her a caregiver because, remember, Medicare, Medicaid will pay for it, so it's not like you're going to have to extend yourself financially, and that will help her stay on schedule with her supplement program, and I guarantee you she won't be problematic if somebody else is doing it for her and with her. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Iowa. And, Michael, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Michael,
Hi,
you're on the
Doctor.
air. Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Well, about 4 years ago, I had an heart ablation because I was measured at 36,000 PVCs per day, and the ablation helped for about 2 weeks, and then they came back with a vengeance. I relocated to a different state and saw another cardiologist. He at first started talking about another ablation, but then he decided that wasn't going to work, and now my only option, as far as he's concerned, is to have he's told me I was going to have heart failure, and the only option is to have a defibrillator installed in my chest. Do I have any option?
Well, sure. You have I'd get 4 or 5 other opinions before you decide what you're going to do, and I'm assuming I'm one of those opinions. And what do you weigh, sir?
About 285.
And how tall are you?
Well, I was 6'4", but now I'm about 6'1".
Okay, so you have lost 3 inches. Okay. Do you have any other issues? Any skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis? Have you had your appendix out?
I've not had appendix out. I do have some kind of psoriasis. I don't know if it's dermatologist, some kind of itchy problem on my skin.
Okay, that's fine. And yeah, at 6'1", I'd like to see you, 200 pounds, 210 pounds. So you're 75 pounds or 85 pounds overweight. need to deal with that. Hang on. Get your pen and pencil ready. I'll give you kind of a diet guidance here as well as a basic supplement program. And we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go right back to Iowa. And Michael, basically, you have degenerative disc disease. You shrunk 3 inches from 6'4" down to 6'1". And this puts pressure on the roots of the spinal nerves between thoracic vertebrae 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these spinal nerves control the rate and rhythm of your heart. And doctors are too willing to run up a bill of over $500,000 in cardiac procedures, including installing defibrillators and pacemakers, and then they'll do an ablation. So you've gone through some of that, and they're recommending others. And none of these things will work because it's a back problem, not a heart problem. And then they want to do a retro version in which they kill you with electricity, electrocute you, sing a little ditty for 2 minutes in an attempt to wake you up. 85, 9% of the time they do. But you've signed a piece of paper, so if they kill you, nobody can go after them because you say, hey, if it turns out bad, they have no liability, right? And, of course, after the retro version, if you survive that, and it won't work because it's still a back problem, which they're still trying to build the insurance companies for heart problems, then they'll want to do a heart transplant. And they'll run up, like I say, $500,000 worth of heart procedures, which is really a back problem. And so what you want to do is take the supplement program. This is designed to support and promote maintenance repair of connective tissue, things like cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes your bone itself. And your associate will know exactly what to do. You need stuff for a 300-pound guy until you get down to 200 pounds. And so talk to your associate, and we'll walk you through this. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Morgan Hill, California. And Fred, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, Fred, we only have a moment, so get to it, sir.
Yes. I've been following the Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet for 2 years, and I cannot seem to shed off any pounds. Now, I also compared that diet to your diet, Dr. Wallach, in regards to the best beneficial foods and the worst beneficial foods, and there's some overlap, but then there's a lot of stuff that isn't on what I consider, Eat Right for Your
Okay, what do you weigh? What do you weigh?
I fluctuate between 192 to 195.
Okay, and how tall are you, sir?
I'm 6 feet tall. I'm in my late 50s.
And how much weight would you like to lose?
And I have a beer belly. Yeah, I don't drink beer. I have a pot belly, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, very good. And so how much do you want to weigh?
I want to... Well, it's not how much I want to weigh. I just want to get rid of that...
belly.
That midsection. That fat in the midsection.
Here's what you need to do. Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Almost always these things are gluten-free diets, just variations of gluten-free diet. And most people will lose 5 to 10, 15, even maybe 20 pounds on a gluten-free diet. So what I'm going to tell you to do, absolutely no grains. I don't care if it's rice or corn or millet, buckwheat, wheat, barley, rye, or oats, no grain whatsoever. I want you to eat vegetables, steamed vegetables. You can melt butter on top of them. Go ahead and salt them. And vegetables, steamed vegetables, not raw, but steamed vegetables and eggs, steamed vegetables and poultry, steamed vegetables and fish, and steamed vegetables and red meat, and nothing fried, nothing burnt, and steamed, roasted, baked, poached, grilled lightly so you don't want to be burning the outside. And, of course, we have the 90 essential nutrients, and you can ask your associate for the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight, which is, there's 1 pack per 100 pounds of body weight, so I'd go with 2 packs. And because you have a belly, you might want to go with the digestive system program, and they will be able to walk you through that. And, I'd go with the digestive programs. And then give us a call in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks and let us know what you weigh. Let us know how the measurements on your belly's going. But again, vegetables and eggs, vegetables and meat, vegetables and poultry, and vegetables and fish. And stay away from don't even use a frying pan. Get rid of all your frying pans and just cook in skillets and pots and crock pots and that kind of stuff. And if you're going to grill on the grill outside, use a stainless steel cookie sheet, put some nice salt on it, and, pull the cover on top. And by using a stainless steel cookie sheet on top of the grill, the flames will not touch the poultry and the vegetables and the red meat and the fish and so on. And that way you'll avoid a lot of those trans fats. Give us a call every couple of weeks. Well, thank you, everybody. Really great questions and testimonies today. Thank you so much, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.